The learnings Ili Nishmas Etta Ahuva Bas Yaakov Maseches Nazir Perik Beis Mishna Gimel. Mazgula Yisakais. If they poured for him a cup, Amar Hareini Nazir Mimenu, and he said, I am a Nazir from this. Hareze Nazir, he is a Nazir. So Taisus Yantiv learns that this is L'shitasai from Perik Aleph Mishnah Beis, that if someone becomes a Nazir from one thing, like over here where he's only becoming a Nazir from Yayin, Hareze Nazir, he is a Nazir for everything. The Rosh argues and says that even Reb Shimon, who argued over there, would agree over here because he didn't say specifically, I'm a Nazir from Yayin. They poured him a kos, and he points in, he says, Harei Nazir Mimenu. So it's like Yadis Naziris. Yadis Naziris, we held, that was Perik Aleph, Mishnah Aleph, where he's holding on to the hair, and he said, Aha Nazir, or Nazir walked by him, then he becomes a Nazir for everything. The Gemara says at this point in the Mishnah that there's again a chsurei mechsar b'achiketani, so you have to add in another halacha, that if a person was drunk and the only reason why he said he's becoming a Nazir is because he didn't want to drink anymore. And Taisus further explains over there that that's the derech of people, that once they see someone drunk, they try to get him to drink more, and he doesn't want to drink, and so he says, I'm a Nazir, it's this way he would stop. So in such a case, the only reason he was saying he's becoming a Nazir is because he didn't want to drink this cup, but he didn't mean to say that he's a Nazir from all Yayin, so therefore it wouldn't be a Nazir from Yayin. And on that, the Mishnah brings the story, Ma'aseh Bisha Achas, Shaisa Shikar, there was a lady who was shikar or mazgalas akais for Amr Hareini Nazir Mimena. They were trying to get her to drink, and she says, I'm a Nazir from it. Amr Chacham Alay Niskavna Eloy Maharehu Alay Carbon. She didn't mean to say that she's a Nazir from all wine. She just didn't want to drink this specific cup like a carbon. Mishnah Dalid has three halachas. The first halacha is Hareini Nazir Amanashe Shaisa Yayin and Mitamel Ames. If someone says, I'm becoming a Nazir on condition that I'm still going to be allowed to drink wine, or on condition that I'm still going to allowed to be mitamel amesim, we say, Harei Nazir v'aser b'kulin. He's a Nazir on everything. So there's two pshatim in the Gemara, either that this is l'shitase again from Perik Aleph Mishnah Beis, where someone says that he's becoming a Nazir from one thing, and yet he becomes aser on everything. And Reb Shimon, who argued over there, would argue over here also. The other pshan in the Gemara, which the Rav brings down over here, is that everyone would agree that in this case he's a Nazir from everything, because this is a typical case of Masna Mashakasa B'Torah. The Torah says if someone becomes a Nazir, he has three halachas. He's not allowed to drink wine, he's not allowed to take a haircut, and he's not allowed to be Mitamel Amesim. Now, but here, he wants to become a Nazir and not have one of those things apply, so he's going against the Torah. Such a Tanai is Nachal, and therefore he's a Nazir for everything, and we ignore the Tanai. The second case in the Mishnah is he says, I knew that there's such a thing as Naziris, but I didn't know a Nazir is Aser with wine. So this is Taka, the same machlek as the Tanakama and Reb Shimon. The Tanakama says, Hareza Aser, he's Aser in everything. And Reb Shimon Lishitase holds that he's not a Nazir until he becomes a Naziris from everything. The third case in the Mishnah is I knew that a Nazir is Aser with wine, but I thought the Chum will give me a heter. Why? I'm only able to live with wine. I need my wine for my health. Which Taisus explains that was his parnasa. He used to bury mesim as a parnasa, and therefore he thought the Chum are going to give him a heter and a way out. So, and obviously there's no such thing. So again, over here, there are multiple ways in the Gemara how to understand the rest of the Mishnah. The first way is that you have to be Geris Harei Aser, Reb Shimon Mater, and it's again the same machlekes. If you become a Nazir from one thing, the Tanakama held that you're going to be Aser for everything, and Reb Shimon is going to hold that it's Mutter. The other two ways keep the Geris in our Gemara, and the first of those ways is that we're talking about She'ela over here, that he's going to a Chacham to be Shoyel. So it's actually Shitase, the same machlekes, but the same way the Rabbanan held over there, that if you want to become a Nazir from one thing, you automatically become a Nazir for everything. So Huadin, when it comes to She'ela, if you're Shoyel on one thing, you're Shoyel on everything, and therefore the She'ela works for everything, and therefore you're Mutter. Even though you were only Shoyel from, let's say, Kuras HaMesim, that She'ela uproots the whole Naziris, and now you're not Nazir for anything. And Shimon L'Shitase argued and said that you're Aser. And the final pshat in the Gemara is that over here is a case of Nidrei Einsin, which we had in Maseches Nedarim, that if a person or nidre shkagos, a person made a mistake in his thinking of his making a neder, and the machlekes is over here. The Tanakama holds your mutter without sheila, or Shimon oiser because you would need sheila l'chacham. He holds that even by nidre eins and nidre shkagin, you have to go to a chacham to be matter it, and until you do, you're aser.